Financial Times, a Secret Service target of misogynistic backlash after Donald Trump attempt on his life. I can't really say that other word. So if you're looking at the screen, Right-wing commentators and politicians blame diversity and inclusion policies for alleged security failings. I don't know about that. But yeah, we're doing this today. I haven't really said anything about the attack on Donald Trump. Is it woke? Probably. Or at least the person who committed the attack, the people who are in support of the attack are woke, like the woke, or agree with the woke and all this. Obviously, I mean, Biden is extremely woke with these policies, these DEI policies that he's implementing and opening the border, etc. So they agree with him. They like him. They're definitely woke. But before we get into this article and another one that we're going to do after this, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed because YouTube does unsubscribe people every single day. You find me on Rumble, Twitter, BitChute, and Odyssey. Now let's dive in here. Mere hours after a cadre of Secret Service agents risked their lives to shield Donald Trump from a would-be assassin's fire, members of the former president's security detail were themselves coming under attack. And we all know why. There should not be any women in the Secret Service, right-wing commentator Matt Walsh wrote on X, posting a video showing 3 female agents ushering Trump into an SUV. These are supposed to be the very best, and none of the very best at this job are women. That's probably a true statement, but I mean, I think there probably should be women in the Secret Service to protect female people, female politicians. Unfortunately, we have those things floating around out there, but they could be used to protect other members of the government that might need to be protecting. That might need protecting, like the wives of the politicians, or maybe there's some ambassadors that are female or something. So anyway, those I would prefer having women protect them. I just think it's more comfortable for the women. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But I mean, if I was a girl, I wouldn't want a bunch of big dudes hanging around me all the time. So amid the intense scrutiny of the agency's alleged failings in preventing Saturday's assassination attempt in Pennsylvania, misogynist views such as Walsh's have been endorsed by several influential voices on the right. Okay, well, I guess I didn't really endorse his voice. So, I mean, and I'm not influential either, so I have basically zero influence. Ex-owner Elon Musk posted that he believed the women in the detail were too small to cover Trump and had not been selected on merit, while hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman suggested that so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies contributed to the incident. Okay, so Elon Musk, I think, is right here. I mean, they're not tall enough. Trump is over 6 feet tall, and these women were clearly not over 6 feet tall. I'm sure that they were put in place on merit, or not on merit, but on DEI hiring. That is 100% accurate. 100% accurate. And we're just going to take a look here real quick at the fitness standards for the United States Secret Service. Now we have right here push-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups, and 1.5 mile run. All you need to score to be qualified to be a Secret Service agent is 6 points. And based on your age, you gain points for doing a certain number or doing a mile in a certain amount of time. So let's take a look at push-ups here. So we have down here. Now push-ups are my weak point. Chest is my weak point. But look, we have, hey, if you can do 55 push-ups and you're between the ages of 20 and 29, that's 4 points right there. Wait a second. This is for the female, norm for females. How come they only have to do 40? How come they only have to do 40? Oh, so you're saying it's different for the women than it is for the men because the women are weaker and less capable physically. Same thing with sit-ups. For the male, it's 47 is excellent between the ages of 20 and 29. And for the women, it's 44. Huh. Well, why is it different? If it's based on merit instead of DEI, why is it different? If you can do the job, I don't care. But why is it different for males as opposed to females? It shouldn't be. It should be the same. Chin-ups, 11 is excellent between the ages of 20 and 29 for men. Oh, 4 for women. So yeah, it's based on DEI hiring. It's not based on merit. So there's proof of that. The backlash was not confined to the loudest voices on social media. You're right, because I'm talking about it and I'm not a loud voice. Republican Congressman Tim Burchett of Tennessee, who achieved a level of notoriety for saying, "We are not going to fix it," following a school shooting in his state, told Fox News that Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle was a DEI initiative person. I'm sure she was. And suggested that this is what happens when you don't put the best players in. Right, exactly. So what was Kimberly Cheadle doing when she was a girl? When she was a little girl, when she was running around being a girl? Did she go running around in the woods playing war games like boys do? No, I was running around the woods playing war games my entire childhood, every summer. I lived in an area where there was access to a lot of more nature and less occupied areas, industrial areas that were not always in use. And I ran around and got in all sorts of trouble and played all sorts of war games and had a great time. Those buildings over there were an obvious opportunity for a sniper. It's like, that's a given. I know that, never having any military experience, just being a boy and running around and doing that stuff when I was a kid. He and other commentators have referred to Cheadle's pledge to ensure that 30% of the agency's staff was female by the end of the decade. Okay, that doesn't seem like a complete thought there. We have an image here of 3 agents, what appear to be 3 agents, I'm guessing. I don't know. And which 2 of these 3 would you like guarding you? Now, I know there's decorum and all that. So there, the woman wearing a suit, she's dressed in a way that would be considered acceptable if she were escorting a VIP into certain areas, right? I understand that. And you wouldn't want to see like this big gun hanging down on some guy's side wearing a suit. I get it. But at the same time, I'm looking at this going, yeah, I want these 2 dudes guarding me. They got sidearms, they got long arms, they got body armor. They look like they're ready for business. She looks like she's cowering, scared, going, what are the men going to do? Burchett sits on the Republican head House Oversight Committee, which is due to grill Cheadle, the second woman to preside over the protective agency, who rose through the ranks in a decades-long career over the assassination attempt at the hearing scheduled on Monday. Really? Is that, she rose through the ranks in a decade? Is that what happened? I thought she was promoted from outside the organization to head of the organization. I don't know. I mean, I haven't done any research on it. That's just what I'm hearing from people, that she was like head of security at PepsiCo, and then she got the job at the Secret Service. I don't know. Please go down in the comments and let me know what the truth is, and then I can be better informed. In advance of the hearing, Cheadle sparked more criticism when she told ABC News that the sloped roof from where the shooter launched his assassination attempt was a safety factor in a decision not to station law enforcement on top of the building. Yeah. No, it's not. It's got like a 5-degree slope on it. That roof is hardly sloped. You've seen pictures of people standing on that roof after the ending of the life of the shooter, and they're just like fine. They're like it's standing on flat ground practically. And there are pictures of law enforcement on steeper roofs in the area during Trump's rally. So that's a lie, and you're stupid. And if that's not a lie, then you're very much stupid and wrong. So advocates for more diversity in national security personnel say they are concerned about the impact of sexist rhetoric. Yeah, you would be, because you want. That's a lame statement. We all know that. You don't have to say that at all. People feel safer in numbers, and so the more people like Tim Burchett say stuff that is so obviously misogynist and sexist, the more others who already feel like they are going to be able to get away with saying it. What I think it does, said Gina Bennett, what I think it does is continue to make acceptable sexism, racism, misogyny, because people just get numb to it, she added. Now, we all know that the sexism and racism and misogyny are bad. But the fact of the matter is, women are smaller and weaker than men. Women are less physically capable than men. They're better at hiding because they're smaller. Other than that, I mean, they can squeeze through smaller spaces. But we know that women are just, they don't have the lung capacity, they don't have the muscle density, the bone density, the collagen. They just don't have it. I love women. I think they're great. I mean, I married one. I live with her. She's not as strong as I am. I don't know what to tell you. The Secret Service did not respond to a request for comment, but the agency has previously said that all agents are held to the same standards. A spokesperson for Burchett said the congressman has said many times, put the best player in, coach. Yeah, we already looked at the fitness standards. They're not held to the same standards. They have to score 6 points. Oh, okay. Well, that's the same standard, right? Wrong, because women only have to do 4 chin-ups to be considered excellent for the age of 20 to 29. Well, for any age, actually, looks like. Whereas men have to do at least 5 to be considered excellent at any age. So I don't know what to tell you about that. You're lying. The attacks on the Secret Service's so-called DEI agenda, which were also endorsed by former Attorney General William Barr and Republican Congressman Corey Mills, who is a former Army sniper, are the latest front in a long-running war against diversity and inclusion policies being waged by allies of Trump in Congress, the courts, and on college campuses. This should not be a thing. Diversity and inclusion should not be a thing. We should be hiring based on merit. Are you the best for the job? Okay. Well, does that mean that we don't hire any women for this job? Okay. That's how it is. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, ladies. Go find something else to do, like be moms. Over the protestations of the Biden administration, the last National Defense Authorization Act passed into law with a clause that prohibits the government from establishing new DEI positions within the Defense Department, from employing anyone whose primary duty it is to craft diversity and inclusion policies, and from measuring outcomes of such schemes. While the Secret Service has employed female special agents for more than half a century, its recruitment policies have only recently drawn the ire of Republican politicians. Well, that's their problem. I mean, I've been angry about the inclusion of women into these roles for a long time. Do we need to have women in law enforcement positions? Yes, because we have to deal with female criminals. Should they be walking the beat? No. They should be... Sorry, ladies, you're going to have to be bored because there's not as many female criminals, but I really don't want men dealing with these female criminals because there are bad actors. I mean, let's admit it. We know that there are men who will do bad things to women just because. Should women be in the military? Okay, like nurses and secretaries? Okay. You shouldn't be carrying a gun around fighting people. Why? You're going to run into a man who's going to destroy you. What's the point? It's just how it is. I'm sorry. Should they be air marshals, sky marshals, whatever those things are called that fly in the planes? Nope. Again, you're going to run into men. And you're in those close quarters there where a man's strength is going to be a huge asset, a much bigger asset than if you're in open ground. Because it's all going to come down to force. You're not going to be able to maneuver. It's all going to come down to force. And men they're bigger, which means that they have more mass they can throw around, and they are stronger, which means they can impart more force with that mass. So I don't know what to tell you. Just makes rational sense to me. Don't do these things that you're not going to be good at when compared to a man. This year, the House Oversight Committee brought up DEI policies in a letter to Cheadle following an incident involving a Secret Service agent on Vice President Kamala Harris' protective detail, who was later removed from duty after an alleged attack on her superior. I wonder why they did that. The matter raised concerns within the agency about the hiring and screening process for this agent. Specifically, whether previous incidents in her work history were overlooked during the hiring process as part of a diversity, equity, and inclusion effort. James Comer wrote that. Well, the Secret Service has been plagued by past scandals involving male colleagues, such as the alleged procurement of prostitutes in Colombia and drunk driving near the White House. The response to the Trump attack has seen some seizing on specific physical features to indict an entire population, said Lauren Bean Buita. Okay. She's the founder of Girl Security. They campaign for diversity and security and the security establishment, just what we need. You don't need female security guards. I don't think it's a reason, unless you're running security for like individuals, like private body security, then I can understand having female security guards, but otherwise, no. So drunk driving, women can drink and drive. So maybe it's only been male agents who have gotten in trouble for this, but women can drink and drive. Now, getting ladies of the night in a foreign country, that's not okay. I don't agree with that, but what do you expect men are going to do? Men are going to do what men do. And if you're going to hire these testosterone-charged, these alpha male types, these big guys who are into guns and being in an action-oriented profession where they could potentially put their life on the line at any moment, those are the kind of men that are going to be going after strange women. I couldn't do this job. I'm not that aggressive. You get somebody like me in there, it's like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm just going to sit back here and play some video games. You guys have fun protecting whoever it is you're protecting. I don't care. I got more fun things to deal with. So, Bennett, who now teaches at Georgetown University Center for security studies. It's like, great, give these idiot DEI people jobs at teaching. She said, somebody is going to have to point to me the medical anatomical proof that being born with a uterus somehow or another makes me less capable of identifying a threat and neutralizing a threat. Well, it does make you less capable of blocking a body if you're smaller than that body. We saw the women in the now infamous video that are all much shorter than Trump, milling about, not knowing how to holster their firearms. But what can you do, right? And not only that, we got this here.
Diversity, equity, inclusion. What does it mean? Well, this is exactly what it means. A couple of overweight cops that can't even catch up with the suspect as Nadine outruns the International House of Pancakes running after her and still can't catch her, and she's off into the night. This is the end result of DEI. Look, hire a woman, but make sure she's qualified for the job. Not because of the color of her skin or who the hell she wants to sleep with. Never catch me with a doctor who is hired based on DEI alone. Fact.
So notice in that footage that the police officers, the female police officers, are very much out of shape and look like they're struggling to keep up, struggling hard to catch this suspect, whereas the suspect looks like she's not even really trying to run away. It's called being in shape. Sorry, ladies, if you're going to work in these different professions, law enforcement, being a sky marshal, Secret Service, the military, if you're going to do these jobs, why aren't you built like this when you do it? I mean, it's not that hard to get this way. There should not be a question as to whether or not you are strong enough to do the things that you need to do to function in this job. It's like the information is out there. You can have a lifestyle that allows you to look this fit all of the damn time and be that fit. I mean, obviously you don't want to just look that fit. And yes, I know there's a difference between the superficial muscles and the strength muscles, but the fact of the matter is you need to be strong enough to hold your own. Because when the shit hits the fan, are you going to hope that there's a man around who can protect you? I mean, really, you're doing these jobs just because you're going to say, look how awesome I am. I'm a Secret Service agent. I'm the best. Yeah. Blah, blah. Be the best. Be the actual best. That way you deserve that job. Nope. It's all about the money and the optics. It's not about the reality that you are the kind of person who would excel in a physically demanding situation. Despite the attack on diversity and inclusion, there had been a huge rise in the number of young women interested in national security careers, according to Girl Security. Buita said it would be extraordinarily impactful to have leaders of the respective presidential campaigns condemn the sexist comments, which she warned could stir up additional hate. I don't hate women. I love women. I think they're amazing. I want to have more women in my life. But the vitriol poured over the women in Trump's detail may already be having an effect. As he walked onto the floor of the Republican convention in Milwaukee on Monday evening, the former president was flanked by a dozen Secret Service agents who were all male, as they should be. We have this article here from the Post Millennial. Breaking: Biden DHS boss pledges to recruit, retain, and elevate women after Trump assassination attempt. Here is, I believe this is Kimberly Cheadle in the middle here. Look how smug she looks. That's the face you want to have presented to the public. Like, look, I'm awesome. I got the job. I'm the best. After the assassination attempt on Donald Trump on Saturday, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, a person who should be removed from his position, has pledged to recruit, retain, and elevate women in law enforcement. The DHS is over the Secret Service, the agency which has come under fire for DEI practices, including quotas for women in the security force. After the attempted assassination on Trump, Mayorkas posted a statement in response to worries about DEI in the agency, saying, in the days following the attempted assassination of former President Trump, some people have made public statements questioning the presence of women in law enforcement, including in the United States Secret Service. He has this statement here, which is laid out down here in bigger print. We in the United States Department of Homeland Security, the largest law enforcement organization in the federal government, will, with great pride, focus, and devotion to mission, continue to recruit, retain, and elevate women in our law enforcement ranks. Our department will be the better for it. Oh, really? And our country more secure. Mayorkas added in that statement, no. Our country is less secure. As you can just see from this, it would have been an easy thing for me to go, yeah, we need to make sure that roof is secure. And I don't work in security. We need to make sure that there's no snipers on top of these buildings right here. Okay? Get people up there guarding those buildings. Make sure that nobody's going to get up there with a rifle. Really simple to do. It's, but then again, I don't have that uterus thing that is apparently the problem according to some of these people, which I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there seems to be a correlation there. Director of Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, who has come under heavy scrutiny in the days following the Trump assassination, has said that the agency wants to have 30% women by 2030. In past interviews, the Secret Service director has said, I'm very conscious as I sit in this chair now of making sure that we need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in the workforce, and particularly women. And there's a question as to whether or not this is a DEI situation. The director is telling you right there, this is a DEI situation. I don't know what else to say about that. These people, and they want to have 30% by 2030. And have 30% less women in the Secret Service by 2030. After many pointed out that women in Trump's Secret Service detail at the rally were not able to cover the 6'3" GOP nominee, Trump was seen with the Secret Service detail that was made up of nearly all men at the RNC. 3 female Secret Service agents had attempted to shield Trump after the shooting took place. Yeah, we saw how well they did that, and it was not a very good look for the women. The women obviously clearly did not know what they were doing. It's just because they just don't have it in them. I'm sorry, there's differences between men and women. That's how it is. I do want to say something about the shooter. I do want to talk about this guy a little bit. I don't know anything about him other than he was a 20-year-old kid. And you got to know, even I was naive as a 20-year-old. You got to know, though, that your life is over. Your life is, if you make an assassination attempt on a person, period, your life is done. What are you going to do, run? Especially with all this law enforcement around at the rally. I'm just going to run away after I shoot him. No. He might not have thought that he would have been killed, but that had to cross his mind that he might get shot somehow, because the police pull the trigger the whole time. They do that, and people end up dying because of it. So what was going through your mind? What's going through your mind at 20 years old to think, I'm going to throw my life away? You throw your life away over this. Over some guy that you think is so bad. You got to throw your life away for that. Man, brainwashing out there is real. It's real. So, anyway, that's all I got for this time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.